everybody, we are on the road finally to escape this that came in quicker than what they thought. So we are heading for Texas, hopefully without any major issues, but we are done with the cold, so we will see what's up next. And we have all 3 puppies. And Cat Stevens is not sure what to think about any of this, so stay tuned and we'll update you as we go through this. Good morning. Is on the right. Stopping for some cupcakes.
Excuse me. Can you tell me where the campground is? Welcome to season 3. It's pretty, but it hasn't quite greened up yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Waco Lake. So the lake is a little low. I'll show you right here. Look at these trees that their roots are exposed. The water used to be here. Just crazy to look at and think about. Some of these trees are alive still, but their roots are mostly above ground. Kind of cool. Hi everyone. So we just got here a little bit ago. We're at, I don't know if it's Lake Waco or Waco Lake. Someone tell me which one it is. I don't know. But we're here. We spent the night in Amarillo last night. We're headed for the beach, headed for the Gulf of Mexico. It's gonna be great. The weather though, not so great. Once again, we drove through a bunch of snow down through Colorado, and that probably added about an hour and a half to our drive. So we drove probably 8 hours yesterday to get to Amarillo, and not gonna lie, it was windy, cold, and we were tired, and we literally just plugged our fridge in at a campsite and went to sleep in our Jeep. Not ideal, not necessarily comfortable, but it worked. And the beauty of the whole thing is we got up early and left there like 4 in the morning and started driving. We fought a lot of wind, and we've got all 3 of our dogs, so we had to, we had to take time and stop for them, let them exercise, take them to dog parks, and that went pretty smooth. It was all right. We ate well, got some Whataburger, baby, and Carrie's up. She's up cooking right now our dinner. Oh, we did pick up cupcakes at Magnolia Bakery. Thank you, Chip and Joanna. they're like ice cream. They're really good. If you ever come down, definitely try them. So, more going on. I'll show you what she's cooking, and we're just getting settled in. It's our Frenchie Cat Stevens' first camping trip, so it should be interesting. Stay tuned. We're staying here 2 nights. One night just to get settled in, the second night to do some video editing and hang out with the dogs and play with them, have a good time. And then after the second night, we head towards Houston. Carrie is cooking right now. What are we having?
We're having chop suey.
Chop suey. This is American chop suey, right?
Yes.
So I'll show you some of this, but it's gonna be great. We had it I think the first time,
I made it for Super Bowl.
For Super Bowl, and everyone loved it. They devoured it. So like we've said before, everything she makes at home is an experiment to see if we can make it camping. So this is it.
So I preheated this pan, or this pot, for the dinner so I can heat up the olive oil a little bit, because it froze.
Show that.
Last night.
Okay.
It is cold.
It's still winter, everyone. And yeah, we came to Texas to find better weather. It has eluded us so far. We haven't found it yet.
We're still looking.
Still looking. We're hoping for the best, but we're not quite where we're gonna be for several days. We're gonna be down on the Gulf. Hopefully better weather. But right now we're in
Plans
Waco.
can change.
And Carrie's making, it's gonna be so good. But I gotta grate some cheese over here for her. Smoked cheddar. And if you don't like smoked cheddar,
Something wrong with you.
you're mental. So, but I'm gonna help her prep, but she's doing most of the cooking as per normal, and then I'll clean it up afterwards. But our dogs got to play. They're hanging out inside the annex, which they love. Oh man, come on. It's adorable. So it's cold. It's maybe 40 degrees at the most.
It's the breeze that's a little cold. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
On our travels down here through Amarillo, it was like 27 degrees. The crazy thing was, it was so windy up there that they had massive wildfires, hundreds of thousands of acres on fire, that were all blowing south. So when we got to Amarillo, it was like a fog as thick as mud, but it was actually smoke.
So
And it stunk. And when we got to the campsite we stayed at, because there's not a lot of wild camping down there. It's easier to just check into a campsite. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to stay, but probably within 20 minutes it blew away. The smoke, that is. And we did all right. And we didn't sleep much though. We actually got up and left there by 4 in the morning and started moseying down here.
Went and got our dessert.
We took our time though. I mean, because we got a 4 a.m. start, and it's only about a 6.5 hour-ish drive. We probably did it in like 8.5, because we'd stop for the dogs and stop to eat. This is
the first time Kat's been on a long trip.
Yeah, Cat Stevens. This is his first trip ever. So,
he's doing really good.
Season 3, Episode 1, Cat Stevens on the prowl. I'll cut that part out where I almost dropped it.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, ready to start? It's a little chilly. A little breezy. Look at the onion and the I'm gonna turn it up a bit. Onion, peppers. Italian sausage. And the only reason I'm using Italian sausage meatballs is because they were cheaper than buying just Italian sausage. So they're on sale.
Go for the cheap.
For the sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use half of a pound of ground beef. The other part I'll just put back in the fridge.
I think that's 3/4 of a pound. Because those packages are a pound and a half, I do believe.
Okay, well, then I'm using... Normally you'd only use...
This is when you say, don't get technical.
Yeah, can't go wrong with ground beef. So.
No, you're not. Cannot go wrong with colorful. Look at that.
Mix it up.
What is that thing?
I'm going to call it a chopper. There's a link that I'll put on our kit. But I'll tell you what, this thing is amazing when it comes to not having to sit there with that spatula.
It's almost more of a mutilator.
It works great. I like it. It's really nice. Get it all chopped up, start it cooking, and then go to the spatula afterwards for your stirring and mixing and all that.
By the way, did you say it was cold?
Just a little. Why is my nose running?
Prove it.
Is my nose running?
Beanie,
Oh.
coat, Smurfy blue gloves.
Well, I always wear gloves when I'm cooking.
I know, but your hands are warmer because of it.
Not really. It makes them pretty cold.
Do you remember moon boots?
Yes.
Moon boots had a plastic liner. That's what made them warm. Just
So
saying.
Now that this is all minced up nicely to start cooking, I will go back to my... Did the propane run out?
No
Oh.
way.
Another can down.
Pause for reload.
False alarm. I shook the can and it restarted.
False alarm.
So we'll
When
get
in doubt, shake it.
that was funny. So we're just gonna start browning this, get this cooking, and we'll start adding the rest of the ingredients. So stay tuned.
What's that?
My glass of wine.
That's a nice cup.
Yeah, it is. We have covered because we run into bugs.
Yet not
Different-
today.
Different circumstances everywhere we go. Not today.
Not on this iceberg of a place.
It's not that bad. It's chilly because of that breeze, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's just the breeze.
Well, and there's
And I love the
something to be
airport.
said for when you drive all day for basically 2 days and you're not really moving around much. It's easier to get cold. It's true.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna add some.
But not after you eat something like that.
So I'm going to add garlic and some squeezed tomato paste. It's so much better. But of course, we always like to use fresh garlic whenever possible. Not always possible, but sometimes possible. I usually say, because I'm making a half of a batch because it's just the two of us. You know, 2 large cloves, but these are pretty small. Ooh, there it goes. Now you can smell it.
There it goes.
So fresh garlic is the best way to do it. I do like the garlic, the squeezed garlic. It's nice in some recipes. Makes it easier. And normally most people wouldn't do this, but Todd likes the big chunks, so I just clean it out. We don't waste garlic.
Don't you dare.
Which is fun. And health-wise, it's good for you too, so we'll just use it.
And if you could smell what that garlic smells like right now when it hit the heat.
Ooh. And then...
Boy.
Boy. I would say 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons. Like I said, I'm doing half a batch. And that, actually, hey, speaking of that, I'm doing recipes.
Speaking of that.
And I'm doing recipe cards. And I'm going to eventually write a cookbook this year at some point in time.
Cooking with Sookie.
So hopefully, at some point in time this year, we can actually get it done with everything else that's going on. It's a lot of work. Oh, smell that. So I'm going to add the 2 cups of beef broth. Slow it down a little bit.
Because you can and you should.
And I like it better than bouillon, personally. So I'm gonna let that start to simmer.
I tend to prefer mo better bouillon.
A little bit.
It's hard to find though.
I'm gonna add a can of diced tomatoes. And if we weren't camping, I would probably mince up some San Marzano. And then instead of making homemade tomato sauce and all that, I'm going to cheat a little bit and use some condensed tomato bisque. Last time I made it, I made homemade and it was delicious. But
We'll give you a break since you're in a heavy coat and a beanie.
But at home, it's easy to make homemade sauces. Oh, okay. Now it's boiling. Should be a slow simmer, but it's a little more than a slow simmer because of our wind. I turned up a little high.
If it was a slow simmer, it would freeze.
But it's okay. So I pre-made this at home. Garlic powder, Italian seasoning, some red chili flakes.
What do you mean you pre-made it at home?
I pre-did it at home in a Ziploc bag because we have little small containers in the back of the trailer that I don't want to use in every recipe because we may decide somewhere we want to make something different. We're going to stir those in. And then here comes the fun part. The macaroni. Get this mixed in, stirred up, ready to boil. We're gonna give this probably, well, with this weather, I'm gonna say 12 minutes.
I'm gonna eat this whole pot.
That would be funny. It has been, what, just shy of 15 minutes. Macaroni's cooked. All that. Hang on just a second. This is hard for me. And now we're going to top it with all the cheese.
What kind of cheese?
Smoked white cheddar. And I'm actually going to just put the top on it to let it melt in for a little bit before we try to mix it. It's going to be delicious.
Oh my God.
So, we are now going to get the puppies ready to go in, sit down, have their dinner. We are going to sit down and have our dinner. And
inside. The wind is picking up.
yeah, it's picking up. We're going to sit down, enjoy our dinner, and we might check in with you in a little bit. But time for dinner. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Well, good morning. As Todd told you yesterday, we are at Lake Waco, and the weather was a lot nicer 10 minutes ago. But we are getting ready to make our late breakfast, early lunch. Reheating last night's dinner. Gonna throw an egg on it for Todd and enjoy the afternoon. We're supposed to get some rain for the next couple of hours, but we'll get inside and we'll sit down and do some work, set up the Starlink, let the puppies relax for a little while. We got some puppies next door as neighbors, so they're kind of on edge, especially Cat Stevens. But stay tuned. We'll catch up with you when we're sitting down inside, getting some work done, and talk about future plans.